Hello, hello. This is my first time doing this, so I'm not sure if it's working or not, but maybe let me know, comment or something. I'm gonna try and yeah, I haven't done anything like this before, so let me see if I can get things working correctly. Let's see. This is live. It says 11 people are watching. That's pretty cool. If anyone's in YouTube, leave a comment, but are people watching on Backerkit is my question. So let's see. Uh, Launch party. Let's check it out. Preview the launch party page. Oh, okay. Project launch commencing. I don't know what just happened. I thought I was watching it. Well, I can't see any comments if there are comments. Hmm. Oh, this should start in 5 minutes, maybe? Set up launch party, preview page. Every time I go to it, it kicks me out to a different page. So, yeah. So if you're here watching, thank you so much for being here. It means you're interested in Hercules and the 12 Labors. Ignore the tape on my headset, it's falling apart. This is Hercules and the 12 Labors. And we will be launching this, and let me look at my phone, in 12 minutes on Backerkit, which is really exciting. So this is a solo card chucking, or sorry, dice chucking boss battler. It's a Greek mythology adventure where you take on the role of Hercules and you have to work your way through all the different labors. Um, this is obviously a prototype. It has like a back that doesn't even match on it, but everything will be very nice when it's final product. It's going to have gold foiling on all the cards, which is going to be fantastic. Enable launch party. I really want to see if this thing's working because it went from 11 people to watching to 2. So technical difficulties. I appreciate everyone bearing with me here. I wasn't really sure what to expect with this, but wanted to sign up for it, obviously, and participate in as much as possible. View project. Ooh, launch party. Let's do it. I think so. It just shows a giant. Huh. It looks like. Hello? Okay, so the comments on there do come through to YouTube. What I'm looking at shows my main image covering my video on the launch party event, which is weird. I don't know how to remove that. If you come to YouTube, you can see me in my entirety in my grand beard. And I was sharing, the box of Hercules and the 12 Labors. Again, this is a prototype, not final, but if anyone is here, can you go ahead and leave a comment in the chat? Because then I could be like, hey, that's cool. Someone's here listening and participating. If not, that's okay as well. We got 10 minutes, and then I'm going to be launching Paper Fort Games. I'm here on YouTube. What is up? Yeah, so sorry for the tech issues. I wasn't really sure what to expect with this. I think I can share my screen and show some cool stuff as well. So maybe I can share the promo cards that we're actually having made, because I don't think I've shown those publicly yet. So for being at the launch party, you get to see some pretty cool exclusive promo cards that you get for backing the campaign when it's live. Let me find the back side of this card real quick. I have the main one. Let's see. Wrong way. There we go. I found it. Let me download this. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to go do a little share screen action. Michael, what's up? Gary, hello. Thank you all for being there. There you are. Okay. So I launched it a little while ago and I was trying to look at it on the Backerkit page and see what was actually going on. But it wasn't working. It says on the Backerkit page, it says there's 80 people here now, which is pretty insane if that's true. But thank you everyone for being here. I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see the new promo cards that you get for backing the campaign, because I haven't shared these yet or put them. Wasn't showing at first, but I'm watching on the Backerkit page now. It's working fine. Okay, that's great. Glad to know it's working on Backerkit. Like I said, this is the first time doing this, so I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I wanted to participate in it. Everyone, thank you for being here. It's really cool. But here is one of the promo cards that you will get for backing Hercules and the 12 Labors during the Backerkit campaign. So this is a fire-breathing giant. So in between, I believe, the 10th and 11th, or the 11th and 12th labor, Hercules actually battles a fire-breathing giant in between his way to one of the labors. And this is actually falls under kind of like Roman mythology a little bit. I believe it's a Roman story versus a Greek one, but in Rome or Italy, they actually built a monument where for Hercules where this happened, which is still standing today, which is pretty awesome. So this is the front side of the card. We obviously have to add in the icons and the name and things like that, but we just got this recently. And again, obviously it'll all be gold foil like the other cards, which is going to look so nice when it's done. But let's show you the back side of this card, which, oops, is right here. And this is actually an image or looks similar to the temple that was actually constructed in honor of Hercules and is actually in Rome today. And there's some lore to it that only cats were ever allowed into the temple. And that's why you can see some cats inside and on the temple while the doggos are outside of the temple. And then you see some nice people just hanging out and talking and discussing their beautiful lives in Greece, or I guess in this case in Rome. So that's the bonus card that everyone's going to get. It is pretty cool. It's, you can add it into your actual journey, so you can make your experience a little bit longer. You don't have to play with it if you don't want to, but it's cool if you can. The other thing is there's a lore card that goes along with it as well. I don't have an image of that quite yet, but you all know and have seen that. Or you will see what lore cards look like, and it's similar to those. With that said, I think too, it's on the main page, but let's go ahead and watch the video for Hercules and the 12 Labors. Boom. No sound? Okay. Well, thanks for letting me know that. Well, you get to see shiny stuff. When the game actually launches, you'll get to hear the sound. This is actually, so Gary, this is actually a pretty difficult solo game. I lost probably my first 8 or 9 times playing it before I was able to beat it again. Um, so it's definitely not like an easy one. I think the concept and the mechanism behind it aren't super heavy that somebody can't understand it. So I don't know. I guess the weight of this would be like a 1.75 to a 2 maybe. And then age range, depending on, you know, how often your kid plays board games or not, could vary. As we all know, some gamers are better or more knowledgeable than others, especially if you grow up playing board games. So I think maybe 8, 10 years old could kind of understand and handle it. Yeah, it's so there's difficulty modes as well. So there's a god mode, which is basically really, really, really difficult to beat the game in. There's a demigod mode / hero mode, and then there's a human mode. So if you play the human mode, you're probably going to do pretty well. The human mode, the hero mode / demigod mode is pretty difficult, and the god mode is like you got to be a god to beat it. So good luck with that. I guess we can also just like take a quick look at the campaign page. I mean, everyone's going to get to see this really soon anyways, but you know, we can kind of go through it and share a little bit about it. I will say, let me share my screen again. Here we go. Thank you everyone for being here. I'm really excited. So this is the page that everyone's going to get. Oh, it's on the main thing, the live. I didn't know that. Okay, that's really cool. Sorry, I'm new to Backerkit, so I'm learning a bunch of stuff. I usually launch on Kickstarter, but excited to be here. So here's the page. It's going to give you some information about it. One of the questions I got a lot from a lot of people, look at that. Oh, I love that GIF. It's so beautiful. So again, gold foil on all this in the final product. Prototypes don't have it. And many of these large oversized cards create one collective image. Some are 4, some are 3, some are 2. So it's really cool for that. But I want to go to the how to play section just to let everyone know. So I created a little how to play video myself, and I edited and posted it on TikTok. I was having issues embedding this how to play onto the site itself here on Backerkit, but if you click this little link, click here to watch a how to play video on TikTok, it's going to go through the first 3 labors so you can understand the mechanisms of the games and how it works. At the end of the video, I go into a little bit about the more difficult labors and different dice combinations that you can see where the game really starts to get interesting and crunchy, and where a lot more decision making happens because there's different rewards that you can choose each time you complete a labor. And depending on the reward you choose, obviously you're going to have a different experience every time you play the game. So you can craft your experience a little bit differently every time you play it. Outside of that, the how to play video, obviously there's kind of right here, we have how to play and it's explained step by step of what to do. If any of this isn't clear, please leave comments or ask questions. I'm happy to answer them. I'll be doing my best to respond to comments on the page. I'm actually driving to TokenCon later today, so I'll be on the road for a little bit. So if there's like a little dead space where I'm not responding, that's why, for anyone that's here. And then I do have other reviews coming out as well. So EasyCat or Jason is going to be releasing a video on March 28th for me. And then Jeremy Howard got a copy of the game as well, who also is interested in making a video. I only had like literally 3 prototypes. This is the last one I have on me, and I'm bringing it to TokenCon. The other 2 are with these 2 great content creators. So I'm excited to see those. So there will be more about the gameplay coming out, and getting to see it actually be played by other people. Thanks, Michael. I really appreciate that. Yeah, so linen card's something we want to put on here with the gold foil. We have a few stretch goals. So we want to add gold foil in the box, a thicker card stock, linen finish on cards, token upgrades for the actual health and divinity tracker. There's a few others that I'm going to add as well, potentially. I didn't want to get too far ahead of myself. Let's see how the campaign does. We got to make sure we can hit all these levels so we can do these stretch goals, because there was a lot of cost that went into this. Rulebook 2, I have a pretty rough like Word document of it with some images. I'm trying to get a more formalized thing before the end of the campaign to share with everyone. But if you really want to see it, I can send you the Word document. It's pretty rough. That's the only reason I haven't shared it yet. But I'm willing to share that with you if you really, really want to see it. But again, hopefully we have a more formal and finalized version by the end of the campaign. So we got a couple, I think 3 weeks to get that done. But I think with that, I think the campaign just went live. if I'm not mistaken. It did. So we have 2 backers so far in for $75, which is awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, 21 days left. So yeah, exactly 3 weeks. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Backer number 2 missed that. You almost got it. So 2 of the 67 projects are funded already on here. Look at this. Total raise for Pocketopia is at 8,000 already. The 130, 40. This is going up fast because it just went live. If you are here, please make sure you get in your backing for the game right now. That is much appreciated. I'm actually going to back my collaborators game, Foxy Deck, because they are my collab partners and I want to help them out as well. So I'm going to back it. Hopefully this doesn't share any like personal private information. Josh Jones, thank you so much for being the first backer. I'm going to confirm my pledge. If you guys don't know, Foxy Deck is our collaboration partner, and if you back their game, you actually get we have a collaboration bonus. So if you back both of our games, there's 2 free enamel pins that you can get. So these are examples of the pin. We went ahead and made one of the labors a pin. I thought this deer, the hind, was like really elegant and beautiful and wanted to make a pin out of it. And then to go with the Foxy Deck, which is a beautifully water painted deck of cards. They made this nice fox pin for it, but that game is by Ammon Anderson. Well, that deck of cards is being launched by Ammon Anderson, but actually his stepdaughter painted this game when she was 12, and they are now launching it when she's 17, and they're going to use the funds obviously to create the game and ship to everyone, but any extra funds are going to go to his stepdaughter's college fund. She's going to continue her schooling in illustrations, which I thought was a really great call. So I'm really excited to have them as collab partners, and I just backed it for that reason. So if you guys are interested in getting 2 additional free pins with your order, go ahead and back that deck of cards. I mean, who doesn't need a deck of cards? Am I right? But let's see. Look at that. We got 8 backers already. Woo! Thank you, everyone, for backing. This is really cool. Backer 6. Thanks, Chris. I really appreciate that. Yes. Super epic. Everything epic. Exactly. This is interesting. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and then I'll hang out for a little bit longer if anyone has any questions. But like I said, please feel free to leave comments or send messages. This is pretty cool to see it happening live. I didn't know what to expect with the launch party. I wish I had like some more stuff planned, I guess, but it was more about like just trying to learn the Backerkit system and participating in different fun things that they had, and this was one of them. So I guess I can show you some of the prototype card art for a little bit. My favorite part of the game, Christopher, is the lore. So I love Greek mythology or any mythology in general, really. So the lore is what really brings it together for me. It feels really immersive. So before each labor, let's see, I'll pull it up real quick. So the deck actually comes constructed already, and you're going to have, you know, your health tracker, your bow, and a few other things on front, which you can easily remove. But then to start the game, you read your lore card, and then they're usually double-sided, so you can actually understand why you're doing this, you know, learn more about the lore. So once that's done, you move on to the actual labor, the first one being the Nemean Lion. As you defeat the labor through dice chucking and manipulating your dice, oh, card behind it fell out. You will flip it over, and then you get the item on the back side of it. So early on, the labors are just 1 card, but as you progress, they become 2 cards, 3 cards, 4 cards, and then you get to choose between the items. So there's going to be the same graphic, but they're all going to have a different ability when you defeat a labor that has multiple cards. So you'll get to choose which one you want to keep. So this crafts your journey in the game every time that you play it. There's also a system where if you want to start at a certain labor, there's a reward and punishment system on all of these that you can take different cards and rewards to build your arsenal and then start on a labor further in the game. But it's going to hurt you and basically take away your health. So you'll have less health to start, which it's kind of reenacting if you were going through the game itself besides skipping ahead. But after you defeat that, you go on to the next labor, and then you would have the Hydra. Again, every time there's a lore card, I really, really like the lore cards. Again, and then each of these labors is going to operate different. So these are all the single ones, but let me show you one that's multiple cards because I think those are pretty cool. Like, here we go. Here's the Cattle Greyon, if I can put it in the right order. And sorry, I will always pronounce every word wrong ever when it comes to mythologies. I'm not great at it, but you can see multiple cards come together to form a labor. And then if you look in the top corners there next to the name, they each have different dice tracks, and you need different dice combos to hurt it. So the one with all the equals is you need 3 dice that are all the same number to do 1 damage. And you can see that side has 2 health tracks, a 5 and a 2. And then on the other side here, it's basically a straight. So you would need like a 1, 2, 3 or a 3, 4, 5, something along those lines. And that side also has 5 and 2 health. And each time the labor dice progresses on this track, it's going to do a different attack or heal itself or stop you from using one of your abilities or remove your dice. So it gets pretty cool. But the early ones kind of introduce you with like you need a 5 or a 6 to hurt the Nemean line. But as you progress, you need much different combos of dice. And then because of all the items you've gathered throughout your journey to get to that point, you have the ability to manipulate these dice in creative ways to, you know, turn a 3 into a 6 and then re-roll it or whatever you might want to do. So just wanted to show you a little bit further into it. Backer 9, so close to 12. No. Thanks for jumping in there. Everyone that's back to really play it. So the replayability, Josh, I was kind of trying to hint on that just now, is every time you defeat a labor, you get to choose the item. The early ones, you only have one option. But as you get further in, you get to start to choose the different labors, the different rewards for each labor. So you can challenge yourself in different ways or try different strategies with different items. As I said, I've lost to this game probably the first 8 or 9 times I played it. Now I'm a little bit better at the game. There's also different difficulty levels where you can start with 3 dice, 4 dice, or 5 dice, depending on how hard you want the experience to be. I haven't been able to beat it with 3 dice. That's the God mode. So if you can, good luck. The designer has, so I know it is possible. It's just very difficult. There's also an event deck. So as you're playing the game, each time you do labor, a new event comes out. It's basically like a curse or a blessing from the gods, and it's either good or bad. So depending on a little bit of luck of the draw there, that's going to craft your experience a little bit different as well. There's events that come out that lower the pip of all your dice by 1, or there's events that will actually give you an extra die for that labor specifically, or take away a die, or just damage you. And then as you get further, there's actually ghosts from Hercules past that come into play, which are pretty cool. They're people that were in his life that he, you know, accidentally killed in fits of rage or died accidentally. And these are much more punishing, as you can see. Lose a die or 5 health. This actually removes one of the events as well, but you can kind of see these different ghosts come out. And it's all part of the journey of the 12 labors, so you get to learn it as you go. Now, the other thing that I haven't really mentioned or talked about in the campaign is that this game is actually meant to be part of a solo mythology line. So as long as this campaign does well, I've already been working with the designer to make a solo game line, and the next one with Jason and the Argonauts. And I've played an early version of it. It still needs some work, but it's really cool. The concept is you start with a ton of dice, just like you would start with a ton of soldiers in Jason Argonauts. And as you progress, you're losing these dice and it's making it more challenging. But it's kind of has a little open world feel where you can take a boat and go to different areas to craft your own journey. So that one would be the second game in the series, as long as this one does well. Oh, Martin's here. Is that Hercules talking to us? Not quite, not quite. He's definitely bigger than me. I am trying to grow a nice beard, though, to maybe look a little bit more Greek. So is it meant to be roguelite or try to beat a labor every time again? So you want to beat the labor every time. There's actually a tracker. So if you're battling the labor and the die, every time you go, the labor will go after you, and its die is going to progress on the track here. So every time it progresses, it does a damage or heals itself or something along those lines. If it ever gets to this skull, you're going to lose the game. So you want to beat him every time. It's not a roguelike scenario for this one. Now, the one I was just talking about, Jason the Argonaut's a little bit different as well, where the mechanisms of the game are completely different, but it will be a solo experience as well. And it's a bit of an open world vibe, which is really cool and exciting. But we're up to 32 backers and almost 1,000 in funding. So we are 20% to our funding goal within the first 25 minutes. So that's really exciting. Get closed caption. Let me see if there's an option for that. I don't know if that can happen in real time. I don't know if I'm just too far from the mic or not talking loud enough, but I apologize. Yes, Alex, I was at Dice Tower West. Is anyone else having issues hearing me on the mic? Let's see, edit. Live chat replay. I don't think you sound great. You sound great. Herc. Call me Herc, huh? Okay. Okay, I can hear great. So, Matthew, I'm sorry. I don't see a way to add closed captions. I think probably when this video ends and I can edit it, there's probably a feature to add subtitles. So you sound very American. Yes, Martin, sorry, from across the pond. Ammon Anderson is actually in the comments there. That is who I was talking about earlier with the Foxy deck. He is my collaboration partner, and if you back both games, you will get free enamel pins. They look really cool, and I'm excited about them. But let's go back to sharing the screen just so I can go into more of the campaign and talk about it. If anyone has questions specific about certain things, I can go over them. I kind of showed you the new bonus cards that you're getting earlier. If you missed it, I'll show it again later. This shows you all the content in it. But again, to go over the collab partner thing, the whole idea behind the Pocketopia event is a bunch of small games launching at the same time. So bringing a bunch of traffic, and then you get collaboration partners. So the idea is, hey, back multiple projects, get multiple rewards, and then actually Backerkit is participating as well. And if you back 6 or more projects, which is a little bit of a big ask, but if there's a bunch you're interested in, you get another bonus gift from Backerkit itself. Will be mailing that out. But obviously, if you're backing 6 other games, that's probably 6 other freebies, or in our case, it's enamel pins. I don't know what other people are doing. Here we have the designer of the game, Tyler, the illustrator who lives in Austria. Ammon was the graphic designer and art director on this game, did a fantastic job. And then me, myself, Matthew Ryan, was the project lead and had my hands in, everything. Yeah. Why back now? Everyone here is already backing because they're awesome, but, just kind of go over the potential freebies that you can win. We are doing a slightly discounted MSRP price point for this game during the campaign. I try to always offer that to people that support me early because obviously that's when it's the most beneficial to publishers. But you'll also get the game first. So I always fulfill it before I bring it or provide it somewhere else. Now, if retailers back the campaign, they'll also be treated as backers. So they'll have fulfillment at the same time, but it should, in theory, happen. Now, if there's different regions, like different countries, sometimes the shipping is a little bit different. So I don't have too much control of that, but the bulk of it should all go out before anything else is received. But yeah, this shows you how to play. Again, I have a video on TikTok. It's not the best. The lighting isn't great. We have more coming later this month from 2 very talented content creators. I didn't really know what to expect with this go live thing. So I'm glad I did it, but it was Ashley. So the replayability, we just went over that. You just missed it. I didn't know what to expect with this. Sorry to finish my thought on that, but I'm glad I did it. It's a fun little feature to get to chat with everyone. But no, Ashley, don't be sorry. So the replayability, as you progress through the campaign, you can kind of see here the beginning labors are just one labor or 1 card. So when you defeat a labor, you get an item or a reward from it. In the case of the Nemean Lion, the Hydra, and the Hind, you get the reward on the back. There's no choice to be made there. It's like these are the first 3 items you get in the game. But as you start to get to some of these other labors, you can see they have multiple cards to them. So when you defeat those cards, now you have a decision to make. You get to choose the reward that you want. Now the image on the backside will look the same, but the abilities are going to function differently. So each reward, you are getting an extra dice for a labor. Sometimes you're losing some health. Sometimes your dice rolls are you add 1 pip to them. So there's different things that can come into play to change your experience every time you play it. Everyone that is backing here gets the promo card, which adds an extra labor that you can insert into the game and play with if you'd like, so it extends your gameplay a little bit longer. But that's the main replayability in this one. And again, there's also different game modes. So there's the easy mode where you have, or human mode where you start with 5 dice, the hero/demigod mode where you start with 4 dice, and the god mode where you start with 3 dice, which I have not been able to beat yet, but the designer has. So pretty exciting. And besides that, you know, the game is obviously beautiful. We're going to make it really high quality with the quality of the cards. We do have some stretch goals to increase that, but the gold foil is something that's going to be there. Matthew, sorry about not being able to give you captions. I will type out an answer for you, and then I'm probably going to end this stream and then start posting in all these different groups to try and bring solo games or Greek mythology. It would be super appreciated and helpful for what we're doing. But Matthew, the fulfillment date is late July. So late July is our goal to fulfill this to everyone, which would give us enough time to then bring it to Gen Con. So again, I always try and get it to the backers. I will get it to backers first before I bring it somewhere else. So that's my target goal, is July, early, mid, late July, late in the worst case. This way I can go and still show it off at Gen Con. Yes, the campaign itself can do this more in the future for launches. Sorry, my typing's slow. So yeah, so thank you all for being here. Please share this on your social medias if you have time, or you know somebody that would like it. Really, really, really super appreciate it. And again, we're going to try and add some more freebies and stuff. I have some stickers planned that I'll kind of do an update about to see if I can get that to work out. But again, we're trying to continue on this solo line and make more solo games. So thank you so much for backing it, because if this does well, we can do the other ones. All right, I'll talk to everyone soon. I'm going to stop the stream, and everyone have a fantastic day. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ashley. Yeah, I thought it was great. I'm going to do it again. See you, everyone.